Afternoon, guys. How are you all doing today? Thought I'd come out for a quick walk. Some sad news, I'm afraid. We had to put our doggy Lily down last Monday, unfortunately. Yeah. So she wasn't well, and then the vet had said it's internal bleeding. I'll go up here for a minute because there's a photo in front of me. So yeah, it was. She wasn't doing very well. We took her to the vet last Monday morning, and the vet just says no, there's no hope, unfortunately. So yeah, we had to put her down, I'm afraid. Oh, poor Lil. And it's been so hard without her. It's been so quiet without her. Not being out, going out for a walk and not holding a lead. Yeah, it's been hard going today, this week. And our cat, we have a 13-year-old cat. He's just lost. He's just, poor soul. He doesn't know what to do with himself. Doesn't really want to do anything. Used to love to prowl about the sort of like where we stay, but he's hardly been out the garden. So we're making a wee bit of a fuss with him. His 13 years to with Lily. Lily's 15. It was 15. And we've got loads and loads of pictures of them sleeping together. So obviously he had a bond with her. So I'm trying to force myself to go out for a walk. I had the excuse of taking Lily out. I need to take her out for a walk, even though it was only 20 minutes. That's all she could do, and it was just round our scheme. That's all she was doing. So yeah, it's such a shame. We knew this day would come at some point, but you're never prepared for it. You never, and the vet sedated her first, so she was unconscious before they put the injection in. So I'm going to pause you for a minute, guys. Sorry, guys. So as I say, I'm trying to force myself out. I could quite easily sort of like stay in the house and not have the excuse of going out. And I'll miss our walks, even though latterly, over the past couple of years, it was just round our scheme, which was about 20 minutes. Yeah. So I'll miss that route. I miss all the people that I used to meet. Have a quick blather with them. So yeah. So that's where we're at, unfortunately. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's been a really tough 2 years. First Dad. Today was 2 years ago was Dad's funeral. Today, so first it was Dad, and then Mum's diagnosis, and then obviously Mum this year, and now Lily. It's just been as somebody else said, it's a couple of years of sadness. and you know, you try and do your best every day to carry on, but it's hard going. It really is hard going. I was at the graveside a couple of weeks ago and the stone is up, so at least that's done. And it was good to, you know, have the knowledge of Mum pick the stone or help pick the stone. We all help pick the stone, but you know, and get the wording right. So at least we know that she knew what the stone was going to look like once it was up. So, but unfortunately she didn't get to see the finished product of it. I know I've done this route before. I know I keep on coming down here. I'm going to do another video tomorrow. The one that I had to abandon, so I'll do that one again. About a month ago I had to abandon it, so I'll try and do a recreation of it for you. I just love it down here. I love it, you know, just the noise of the water, you know, how peaceful it can be. Just contemplating life and memories, and yeah. And Lily's big first walk was down here, was down by the river. Even though she got tired halfway down and she was climbing up us to try and get lifted home. This wee ball of, you know, it was just wrinkly skin, like extra skin she had, and she hadn't grown into it yet. Yeah. But basically we have all our pictures and our videos, and we're receiving her paw print and a bit of fur, so I don't know how that's going to be displayed. And so we're waiting for her ashes to come back. So when my house rabbit died, when she was my baby girl, you know, she was a wonderful rabbit. But when she died, I got her ashes put into jewellery. It's called Ashes into Glass. So I wear her bit of her pendant every day to keep her close, because I was devastated when she died. I know I was showing you this before. Yeah, devastated when she died, and then so now we're waiting for Lily's ashes to come back, and I'm going to get another piece of jewellery from Ashes into Glass. I'm going to have a ring, so she'll be with me every day. I mean, people think that's morbid to have any ashes, like your pets or your husbands, you know, or wives, you know, mums, dads, as a piece of jewellery, but it's our way of remembering them. It's our way of keeping them close. You know, they'll always be in our hearts and whatever. But so we're waiting for that to be done. So we donated everything, like all our blankets and the rest of our food, and biscuits, and you know, we've kept a few leads. Her first collar, we've kept all that. We've kept a couple of blankets aside for the cat as well. So we donated sort of everything to Craig Kennels, because she loved going there on holidays. She couldn't wait to get into her wee kennel, and the people that run it, Sandra, they loved her as well, and you know, she's going to be a big miss when we go on holiday next year. Only taking Fudge up. You know, it's easy to think of all the bad things that Lily did. You know, when we first got her, we were only a year into the house and she ate in the kitchen. You know, all this, bottom of the kitchen units, my wooden, obviously the furniture, table, the chairs. She's even put a hole in the wall. And somebody had suggested that when you get a puppy, you know, leave a radio on if you go out. But Lily, being Lily, decided she wanted to find the voices on the radio, and you know, distraction. But the times that I forgot to put on the radio, she wouldn't have done anything. So lesson learned there. She had very sharp claws, and you know, I've got a few scars on my arm and my hand, and her teeth, and like razors. And then in the end, when she was licking her paws a wee bit, and you know, barking for getting fed. But above all that, we have all the good memories of her at the beach. She loved the beach, and she hated water, but she loved going in the sea, you know, for a wee paddle. She loved the car until the car became transport to the vets and in Gordon when they closed the illness branch. Then it was squeaking all the way there and shaking, shivering, you know. And she was a happy wee doggy. You know, she used to sit beside my girl on the couch, and she used to fiddle about with her paws, you know, or even stroke her legs and whatever, her ears. But she hasn't said that where's Lily, you know. So I don't know how she feels. But we've got a big cushion. I got a cushion with Lily's face on it. So it sits on where she would sit. You know, she loved the corner. We've got a corner suite. So she loved the corner bit. So we've got that on top of the corner bit. Her spot. You know, so. And, you know, we used to stop with, you know, what if Lily was here? Lily would do this, or Lily would do that, or we don't need to do that anymore because Lily's not here. And just don't know all the negative things, and think of all the happy memories we had when we had her for 15 years. She done well getting to 15 after all that what she went through with her health, you know, her skin. She had lumps and bumps everywhere. She had lumps removed, and she had abscesses that split open and things, and weeping, and her constant ear infections just because of her skin condition. And then she was, you know, the first maybe I would say 5 years of her life she was on steroids. She lost all her hair. She had no hair on her side of her face, on her ears, on her tail, on her belly. She had no hair. So then we got onto another drug, which was an experimental drug, which we didn't think that would help, but it was a miracle drug. It was, you know, her fur came back, her skin cleared up, she wasn't gnawing at her feet. The ear infections got less, even though it didn't stop them, but they got less. So we were grateful for that chance to have that drug. And then she had a lump removed in her beside her tail. And then 2 weeks after that, her back legs went. Sorry guys, I don't speak under bridges. I don't know, it's just superstitious. Anyway, so yeah, she had a lump removed, and then 2 weeks after that her back legs went, so we thought, oh well, this is it, you know, because the vet had given us an option, 3 options. Well, it could be a tumour in the spine, it could be a infection in her spinal cord, or it could be a damaged disc. So we didn't know which until we had the chance to go down to Glasgow. I think it was a pet university or something, I can't remember what it was. So my hubby took her down on the car, way down to Glasgow, back of the car, to have a CT scan done to see what was what. And luckily it was just a damaged disc, so they managed to repair that, and she was at least 6 weeks cage rest after that, which was hard going for her. And then we had to do exercises like physio on her, get her to learn to walk properly again. So we didn't think she was going to come through that, you know, but that was, and even the vet had said, sorry, I'm just coming down by the Yankee Pier. So the vet had said, well, you might get another 1.5 years out of her. So that was 4 years ago. So we got 4 years out of her. You know, she was tough. You know, she came through quite a lot in her life, and you know, she made it to 15. She was just, and there was 5 of the litter. Obviously I kept one. Her 2 brothers were within the area as well, and the other 2, we don't know where they went, so I don't know whether they've survived or I don't know. So there's only one of the 3 of them that are in illness left, unfortunately. And he looked older, or he looks older than what Lily did. You know, Lily didn't act her age. She didn't look 15. She didn't act 15. But her brother did, or does. One of her brothers, Willis, unfortunately lost a leg when he was about maybe 1 or 2. So he got knocked down by a car, so he only had 3 legs. But, you know, again, he came through it, and, you know, he lasted till he was 14, I think. Either 13 or 14. Unfortunately, they had to put him down too. You know, and now just one brother left, Bullseye. And he just looks like a wee, poor old wee man. You know, and his owners had said that he's come close a few times. You know, they thought he's not going to make it through the night, you know, but he's bounced back. But he's got a lot of problems. I mean, he's got stomach problems. You know, he's got a bit of dementia. He's deaf. He's, you know, Lily was deaf, and she was sort of like nearly partially sighted. You know, she wasn't fully partially sighted, but you know, she had her blind spots, you know, and her ears, her hearing, which she couldn't hear behind her, you know. It was a shame. And Lily used to go into this deep sleep, you know, and usually when we came in from outside, you know, she would hear the door going and she'd be up at the living room door, sort of like whining and wagging her whole body, you know, just to happy to see us. But you know, she wasn't hearing anything. We had to sort of like really stand and watch her and see if she was still breathing, or even sort of like touch her a wee bit to bring her around, you know, just to let her know that we were here, so she didn't get a fright. But aye, so poor Lily, you know, it is so quiet. It's either, you know, missing the licking of the feet, or scratching, or snoring away, you know, or whining at me at 4 o'clock to get fed at 25 to 5, you know, and barking, and aye, wanting out every 5 minutes at night because she had a wee bit of a dementia, we think. She was forgetting that she was out, even though she didn't really do anything. She would just stand on the decking and just sniff the air and then come in and get a biscuit, and then she would be up again for 2 minutes later doing exactly the same thing. You know, it's such a shame. Look at the still day it is. It's no wind. It was nice and sunny this morning. It was a clear sky this morning, but it's overcast now and it's been cold this past few mornings. You know, it's down to 3 degrees this morning. So yes, so life goes on. It's sad that we've got to sort of like carry on, and you know, we have our memories of her. You know, we have to sort of like look after the cat now, look after Fudge, you know, make a fuss of him. So I got my new bed and he gets more treats, because it was always Lily that got all the treats. He hardly got any treats. New toys, and you know, he always wants to be with us. You know, so yeah, it's been hard going this week, unfortunately. So I'm sorry, it's a sad video to do, but I couldn't put it off any longer. You know, I wasn't going to do one until tomorrow, but you know, I thought, oh, I'm out walking anyway, so I might as well blare her to somebody. You know, even though you're not here, but when you watch it, I'm with you. You're with me, so yeah. Thank you to all the subscribers. As usual, without you, I wouldn't be carrying this on. You know, I'm very appreciative of your support, especially over the past couple of years. You know, friends that I have on here. Sorry, I've got to switch hands because I'm still got a sore thumb. I said to you the last time I was hoping to go and get an injection in it from the physio, but unfortunately they couldn't give me one because I had my flu jab the day before. So I've got to wait for I think it's another 2 weeks. I think I've got to wait now before they can give me it, which is a pain, but hey ho, what can I do? So my thumb is very sore, unfortunately. And if anybody's had trigger thumb or trigger finger, you know how sore it is if it bends by itself. Pain just shoots straight through your hand, so it's not clever. And I can't really do an awful lot with it. I can't twist off bottles. Not even with my left hand, because my left hand's weaker than my right. For some unknown reason, I don't know. It's probably because I'm right-handed. So the physio did say that we'll try this injection again, and if it happens again, he has to refer me to orthopaedics for a possible operation to sort the tendon so it doesn't keep on happening. So not looking forward to that. If that happens, we'll have a look. We'll see what this injection does in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else. After our church service yesterday, we had a big massive church lunch. We have one every 3 months, I think we have one. So 2 seconds. Oh dear, barky doggies. Barky doggies. Now, I haven't been in here for a long time, so I don't know what's going on here. There's a lot of stones happening here, so I don't know whether they're doing something else. I don't know what they're doing. Unless we're tidying up that's the stones from the old house that was here. So I don't know what they're planning. They're planning something, I think. But who knows what they're doing. But yeah, the old house used to be there. So it looks as if they're sorting out all the stones. Hopefully to flatten it, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so I've got up here. We haven't been. As I said, I haven't been up here for a long time. Because Lily wouldn't be able to come this far, so. But so we'll go this way anyway. I can't remember what I was saying now before I get interrupted with the doggies. Oh gosh. Actually can't remember what I was saying. Sorry guys. No, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh dear. Dear oh dear. Pity I can't rewind it. Yes, I remember now. Yes, we had a big Sunday lunch after church yesterday. We have one every 3 months, so it was nice to get together and have lovely food that is prepared by everybody that cooked or prepared a pudding or a salad and things like that. So it was nice. And then today we had our toddlers up at the church, Tots and Toast, which is, I think we're in our 4th year, I think, coming up to our 4th year. And so we had quite a lot of kiddies. It was lovely mix. And then tomorrow we've got our monthly lunch club, and so I'll be doing a video when I'm walking up to that tomorrow. So yes, so soup, sandwiches and fellowship, and sometimes we have music, sometimes we have a speaker. So it's lovely. So if you know of anybody would like to come along, any age, it's not just for the elderly. You're at a loose end, come along and have some soup, and some sandwiches and cakes. It'd be lovely to see you. So yeah, so I help serve with that as well. So on Wednesday I go to my craft group. It's in the Carpston Centre. So it's just a bring your own craft. Many of the ladies do sewing or knitting or crocheting, or I think there's a lady that does felt. I take whatever. I've been doing mini paintings since Mum passed away, like watercolour paintings, or I'll take my colouring Bible with me. I've done, when I used to go to another group on a Thursday, I used to do my cards, got all my put all my cards together, or beading. I've done about two bookmarks of diamond painting. So I just generally take anything, and it's nice to get together and just have a blather. You know, I'm probably the youngest person that goes, but hey ho, I don't care. You know, it gets me out of the house for a wee while, gets me mixing with everybody, and but that's only this week's only a short week, or short group time, because I go to I'm going to pause for, sorry guys, I go to a support group for autism. Ooh, this is new. Look at that, new gates, new wall and new gates for the new part of Dalmore Distillery. So a support group for autism parents. That's very informal. Across this road, very, very informal, and we have a good blather. We have get tips, or get ideas of how to help certain situations and things. So it's really nice. So I go to that once every 2 weeks. Oh, I'm forgetting how steep this hill is. That's looking down. So it's nice. Dalmore Distillery, if you didn't already know, that it's going through a big refurb and update. So yeah, it's looking a lot. The car was rather close to me when I'm coming up the hill here. So yeah, they've done a new building for production. Yeah, they've really tidied up this area. Got rid of some bushes, and yeah. As I say, I haven't been down here for ages, because you weren't allowed to come down here at one point, because they had blocked it off a wee bit. But now obviously it's open. Whew. So yeah, so I've got a busy week. But it's actually tomorrow I'm getting bloods done for diabetic check. Thursday is ADD day, so it's Honest and District Times delivery day. So get your Honest and District Times, which will be on sale for this Thursday. Second of October. So yeah, so I'll deliver to Aldridge newsagents, Co-op Allness newsagents, the flower shop in Allness, Everton Co-op. If you haven't heard, it's closed for refurbishment, but they've got a pop-up shop beside it. So that'll be closed for about 6 weeks, I think my sister said. 6 weeks. And then we go to Dalmore Farm, and then we go to Buchanan's in Invergordon. So there's plenty of places to get your ADT. We'll be shortly getting a space ready for doing the Christmas wreaths again. It's going to be slightly different obviously this year because we don't have a shop to sell the wreaths, so but more of that will come at our later date. So I think we're going to start selling them from maybe the middle of November, I think, but I'll let you know in plenty of time. So yeah, so now going beside the Dalmore Road. This is the A9 going south and coming north. It's quite quiet today, you know, but so that's it. The other side. We'll go along the cycle path here now because I need to go into Morrison's to get some shopping before going home and doing some more washing. I've got breakfast dishes to do, and then wait for my girl coming home from school, and then we do it all again tomorrow. So yeah, look, here's a lovely barrel with heathers in it. That looks lovely. That's just a new addition. Oh, there's another one at the other side. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. I think the flowers in the high street will be coming out shortly for the winter. Thank you to all the volunteers who actually work in the high street. As part of our summer ministry, we go out and we do it's called Church Has Left the Building. So we help the volunteers in the high street, like weeding or planting, doing the planting of the barrels or the big boxes. I paint all barrels every year green. So, but the ladies are getting a little tired. So we need new volunteers to do it. If not, there's not going to be any flowers on the high street, or the weeds are going to start growing quite a lot. So I mean, there's one lady in particular who's out every single day for a lot of hours, you know, help weed all the wee cracks and nooks and crannies in the high street, and even the lanes she's weeding, painting fences, and just trying to tidy up the place to make it more presentable for visitors. And yes, we do get visitors. But they're in need of new volunteers because the two ladies are getting a little tired now. I'm not going to say that they're past it, but yeah, it's getting, hours are too long. So we need new volunteers. Everything's done by volunteers, and there's no paid people that does it. The boys, or even women, whatever, that are doing community service, they help out quite a bit as well with sorting fences and things. That's part of their jobs or whatever, so we've had quite a lot of help from them. We've had a lot of, like, all the hanging baskets were done by the field, Blooming Gardeners I think it was. So they look fantastic, so thank you to all of them. And so yeah, so just remember when you go down the high street, whatever, just think of these ladies, all the hard work they've done day in, day out, you know. Even like deadheading when they're out and about, you know. One of them is, she works, you know, part-time, and during her lunch break, or if she's going down the high street to pick something up, you know, you can see her deadheading or putting rubbish in the bin, you know. So just be mindful of, it's not fairies that does it, you know, it's all volunteers that helps try and keep the high street clean. But it's hard going when the kids from the school are just littering, just causing havoc at lunchtimes down the high street. So it was mental. So yeah, I need to have a look. I think I'm alright for time. I'm going to pause you for a minute, guys. Right, I think what we'll do is we're going to go